Hey, Atlanta Kickball, this is Coach STEELE, and we are now doing episode 8 of Keep It STEELE. And I will just ask my panelists some questions that we've already discussed. I'd like to go over them in more detail just to get her perspective and sometimes his perspective, because she would be what we call a legend, and so she can go in a little bit more detail. All right, so without further ado, this is, hey, she gone, Anna, aka Anna. She's a player and she's
AKA
also,
Ann, A-N-N.
I'm sorry, aka Ann. I mean, aka Ann, right. I keep saying Anna, but it's Ann, okay? My bad. And then we also have Ghost. There it is. Bam, bam, bam. So, Ann, she gone. What advice would you give a brand new kickballer who is about to embark upon the Atlanta kickball set? What advice would you give them?
Um, get with a coach that knows kickball. Um,
So the coach that they're with, let's just say it's a brand new team and it's a brand new coach, then how would they know? Like, you don't know what you don't know. So what questions would they need to ask?
um, Offensively, what's his coaching philosophy? Is he a bunny coach? Does he think kicking the ball out is gonna be his thing? Does he play kickball? Does he know anything outside of kickball, women, short shorts? Let's go have fun.
But he's brand new and he's coming from football.
He's coming from football. Well, what has he done to prepare himself for kickball? Is it a competitive team? Is it just a rec team? Is it just a get out, let's go outside and have some fun type team? It depends on the type of team they're trying to have and what type of player you want to be. What type of person are you? Are you just, hey, I just want to get out the house and meet new people type person? Or are you really an athlete? Because if you're really an athlete at your heart, playing on a team like that, you're not gonna stay for long.
Right.
You just not. It's not gonna be a thing. You're not gonna want to.
So your advice, you're saying then your advice is to first learn what type of player you are, and then ask your coach what type of coach, like, are you going to be a fun coach or a competitive coach?
Yes.
And then ask, and then what is this? Is it just those two, or
That's where I would start.
that's where you would start?
If it's truly gonna be like a competitive team.
Okay.
Like I said, if that coach doesn't know anything about kickball, he needs to get caught up, because it starts from the head. And
Right.
The coach is the head. So if the coach can't teach you how to be competitive or at least look decent when you hit the field, you wasting your $65.
Okay. Do you think that Atlanta kickball needs a mentoring program? Like, if you are a brand new kickballer, your team is new, the coach is new, do you think we need to offer some type of mentoring program from, because they don't know who the top dog coaches are, who the top dog players are, and they can't go to their teammate to ask questions. So they want to ask people that they have seen play and they envy and look up to. So do you think we need a mentoring program to help that, to bridge the gap?
I think it's a good idea. It definitely won't hurt. The problem with that is a lot of coaches in kickball, especially on the women's side, they're men. And men typically don't like to humble themselves and go ask another man for help.
Okay.
Because that's mainly the problem now in women's kickball. You'll have some great teams and you'll have 2 or 3 men coaches, and what you'll notice is the women are typically fine with each other.
Right.
It's the men that bump heads, and then the
Gotcha.
ladies end up having to be torn apart because
Gotcha.
they have to pick and choose where their loyalties lie.
Right. Okay. So, you as an individual, what was the hardest lesson that you had to learn as a kickballer?
Running bunt.
Running bunt?
Yeah.
Okay, now tell us why.
It's all about timing.
Yeah.
And my feet tend to move fast, so for me personally, I had to learn that I can't move as soon as the pitcher pitches the ball.
Right.
And I can't be in the back of the box. I have to literally waste the balls at least 3/4 of the way down the pitching path before I even take a step.
Right. So you really had to learn patience. Had to learn that you are a person that just need to be patient.
Yep.
To be able to execute. Okay. So what do you think are your personal strength and your personal weakness?
I'm a defensive mastermind. If it's in the air, I can go get it.
You sure can. I'll testify that.
I come from softball, so playing defense and kickball is the same thing. The ball is just different. As far as my weakness, I would say would be big kicking. I'm a punch kicker, so big kicking is not even in my repertoire. It never will be.
Okay.
So if I had one thing that I really just wanted to work on to develop, it would have to be big kicking.
Gotcha. And then, again, not a personal question. Do you have a definition of what defines a good coach?
A good coach, as far as skill set, it needs to be somebody who understands the IQ of kickball.
Okay.
For example, this is not to necessarily pick on anybody, but it's fresh on my brain. This past weekend in the tournament, I think we were playing unknown.
Okay.
And I'm on the sideline. I want to say we had runners on second and third several times with less than 2 outs, and I hear the opposing team's coach preparing his team for a squeeze play.
Right.
Good teams are not gonna squeeze play when I got an open first base.
Exactly.
But you're telling your team that lets me know that your IQ is low.
Okay.
Because you're preparing them for something that's not even plausible right now on a good team. That may be something that a lesser team would do, but
Right.
you're playing
Tournament level.
you're
at the
playing
highest.
tournament level. You
Right.
shouldn't even be thinking that
Right.
this person is going to
So,
bypass this open
based
base.
on that example that you gave, then that person would not be considered a good coach for
No.
your definition.
No.
Okay, so give me an example of a good coach.
A good coach is great at game management. As far as tournament ball right now, you're looking at, this is the typical thing that happens. Bunt, kick.
Right.
There are no secrets. A lot of these coaches think there's a secret, and when you get somebody, it's first and second. You only have 2 options. Either you're
Right.
going to bunt it up one,
Right.
or you're going to try to kick to that side of the field.
Right.
You talking to them is not going to change what we do as a defense.
As
it's not
defense,
going
right.
to trick someone. And that's what a
Right.
lot of these coaches try to do. They feel like it has to be a trick, or you're trying to get somebody off balance. Good teams, you're not going to get them off balance.
That's right.
That outfield stay ready.
So you're telling me that a good coach just understands that there's no new secret formula, just allow the game to play itself out?
Yes, they prepare their team. The main thing on defense that we're taught outside, of course, catch the ball and throw it to the perfect person.
Right.
Is we don't throw the ball around. We know how to stop a play.
Right.
We get it back to the pitcher circle,
Right.
and that kills the play. You will have a lot of these girls, they think they're holding the ball on the third baseline or out there at second and waiting on the ump to call time.
Right.
No. Even if you read your rule book, the play does not technically stop until the ball reaches the pitcher's hand
right.
in the pitcher circle. So for even me as a player and as an umpire, you expected me to call time. No, get the ball back to the pitcher circle.
Right.
That's all you gotta do.
That's all you got to do.
And
I
that's
agree.
coaching. That means your coach hasn't even gone over just the mere basics of
Right.
it. But when it comes to coaches that don't play kickball, they can't teach you how to run bunt.
Gotcha.
They can't. So those are the coaches that kick the ball out, and maybe you play on a weak team that drops balls and throws the ball away,
Right.
but it's not good kickball.
It's not good kickball.
It's not what I'm going to spend my Saturday and Sunday coming out to watch when I'm not playing a referee.
Okay. Now, what criteria do you use as an individual when you are saying, "Oh, she's a good player" or "she's a great player"? There must be some internal discriminants that you use as a guide to place each in a category. So, what do you use?
I just give you my person who is the most complete kickballer that I've ever had the pleasure of sharing the field with, and that's Flower. Flower is the perfect combination.
But give me what that combination is.
She has her kicking ability. She can punch, and she's a big kicker.
Okay.
She can bunt,
Okay.
paint the line.
Okay.
She has an arm that is almost unmatched.
Okay.
She has an IQ that is unmatched.
Okay.
There isn't a check mark on what you want as a kickballer that Flower does not meet.
I agree.
You want a big kicker? Check mark. Punch kicker? Check mark. Somebody that can bunt? Check mark. That's all y'all. That's all the offense you need in one player.
Okay.
Now you're talking about defense. She plays first base. I mean, she's got hands that are golden.
That's right.
She don't drop.
That's right.
So you got that. She can catch. First base, she can throw. She
That's
throws
right.
it clean across the diamond.
She does.
Without a hump in it. So you got that chick. She has an IQ. She's not going to get flushed and throw the ball around when we as players that play with her and throw the ball around. She's not going to make the secondary just throw the ball anywhere.
Right,
She's going
right.
to get it back to my
Okay.
pitcher and kill the play. Or she's going to just hawk you down and make you stop at whatever bag you're on. Then she's gonna give it to the pitcher.
Okay.
So that's IQ. There isn't a check mark as far as a complete player that I feel like Flower doesn't check.
So you've given me like Flower to be your ultimate kickballer. My question is, I'm sure that within yourself there are 5, 10, 20, whatever number that you may say, yeah, she good, yeah, I fuck with her, yeah, and the list can go on. So when you are saying that girl is good, this girl is good, what makes them good in your book?
I don't think there's a catch-all.
Gotcha.
I think it really depends on the position they play.
Gotcha.
Take for my perfect outfielder. That outfielder has to be, of course, be able to catch, but I need them to be able to go up and back. I need them to be able to have a decent enough arm to hit your cutoff. Don't just get burnt or catch the ball and just slink it back into the infield. No, you need to know where you're throwing it.
Right.
So to me,
right.
a lot of it boils down to IQ, and
Okay.
you can't say, "Oh, this person's good because they're fast," and that's what we do a lot in Atlanta.
Right.
Is we call a person good because they're fast. But if all you bring to the table is speed and you button the ball in the middle of the field, then you're trash.
You're not getting on base.
You're trash. So I'm not going to sit here and say, well, this makes this person. Yeah, you're fast. Okay, that's going to look good. But when you actually take that to a higher level and put that as far as tournament or playing just higher quality teams, you being fast is not going to.
It's basic.
It's basic.
It's kind of
Because not everybody's
099, 101. Everybody's fast.
Not everybody's fast. So what else do you bring to the table? It can't be just one thing. And then
So what else would you want them to bring to the table? That's my question.
They have to be able to bunt. You have to have some type of
Okay.
offensive skill set
Okay.
that makes you valuable. And
Okay.
being fast
Okay.
shouldn't be the only one, because
Gotcha.
when you're having a bad day, you butt in the middle of the field, you're still going to
Okay.
be out. So I need you to be able to put it on the line.
Okay.
Go 1 and 3.
I understand now. I understand. So, as you know, I, Coach STEELE, am a female coach. And so, you know, when I came onto the kickball set, I really just never have seen a lot of female coaches. So my question to you is, just in a general sense, for you and for you, why do y'all believe that there's not a lot of female coaches?
I really don't know, because I don't think it's a gender thing, because, for example, Coach Lele, if Mo wasn't my coach and I was just a free agent looking, I wouldn't mind playing under Coach Lele. So
Okay, because that was going to be my next question. Would you
yeah,
play
I
under
would.
female coach?
I would. If
Okay.
you had a co-ed team, and like I said, I wasn't on one, I really, for me personally, I really don't care who I play under as long as they know what they're doing. That
Okay.
gender, I really don't care. So maybe it's just a lack of interest from women wanting to be coaches. That could
Okay,
be what
that could be
Could
it
a lack
too.
of interest.
That could be it. What do you
I
think?
give, for example,
She
if
gone?
Flower was saying, "Oh, let me coach," I'd be like, "That's Flower."
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
Flower,
So
yeah.
it might
Yeah.
just be a lack of interest.
I know for me, right now, pretty much all the women that really know kickball, we're still playing.
Right,
We're still
right.
playing, and then for the level that I've been placed upon and that I want to be on, I don't see too many women coaches that can teach that skill set. Or
Okay.
can bring something new to the table, or just keep it where it is. But if there was one, I wouldn't mind playing.
Okay.
Um,
So, but what man would bring something new to the table at the level where you are?
Well, for me, none, because if you notice,
Right.
I played for the same.
Right,
I
right.
played pretty much for the same group
Same group, right?
forever. And when I do venture out and go play with other teams and other coaches, I find myself doing a lot more coaching and teaching than I normally would when I'm just with my team and with my coaches. You tend to have to step up in a different type of mind frame
Coach on field.
and be the coach on the field and say, hey, coach, that's not the play we probably need to be doing, and things like that. So I prefer to play with who I've been playing with, just because I know their IQ,
Okay.
instead of them trying to, like I said, be tricky, do extra things. I just like to play and know that, hey, we know what we're doing. Now, if we don't get the win,
Right.
it's not on my coach.
Right.
It's definitely 100% on the player.
On the players and
On
just the way the
players,
game
not
went.
because,
Right.
my coach is incompetent.
But you're not opposed to playing for a female coach.
No, I play for you.
I know. Well,
So
this
I will play with and for anybody.
Okay.
Because I love the game.
Because you
But
love the game.
If I had to break it down, right now I don't see any female coach in Atlanta outside of just having the pure talent being able to take a team to a tournament and actually do well.
Okay.
And actually do well. Now if they have the talent and that talent is kind of already set in stone, say you take DOA, add Chevy back into it, add Lori back into it, that are now playing with teams out of state, and just take what we have. I feel like if you put a woman head coach on it, then yeah, we probably do well.
But what male coach that you think could take whatever team without said talent right now
Without
and could
said
do
talent?
it? Yeah.
None.
Right. So when you
That-
had
that
made
all-
a
that all-
distinction.
that-
You had
that-
made a distinction about
No,
females.
it's
so
not
I,
a distinction. It's
right.
female, male. There isn't
Exactly.
too many coaches right now.
Right now.
In Atlanta who are progressing the game, and for a
I
player
agree.
like me, that's scary because at some point the she gones are gonna sit down, the
Correct.
flowers are gonna sit down, the slims, the reds, all of us are gonna get older, and there's nothing coming behind us, and then what's gonna happen? It's gonna die.
Gotcha.
So we really need some of these coaches who call themselves kickball coaches and coming up with teams to step their game up because it's about to die. I give it maybe, if we don't get it done in the next 3 to 5 years, everybody's gonna hang the cleats up.
Talk
So
about getting new people.
Yeah.
do you all get in your feelings, or do you get upset when your teammates get in their feelings when the coach is asking you about why did you make that mistake or what happened? Like, I hate when a player like, why are you talking to me? Everybody else messed up. Well,
Oh
but-
yeah, I can't stand that shit.
Yeah.
That shit irritating as hell. Cause me personally, that shit is so irritating. I feel like for me personally, I don't mind my team holding me accountable.
Okay.
Because before they even get a chance, so I'm already dogging myself out for making a
Okay.
mistake.
Okay.
So I prefer my team to dig me out and hold me accountable. Before those people who do the so and so did this, why y'all on me? I don't even want people like that on my team.
Right,
There
right.
is nothing that kills me more than someone making a mistake, but they feel like, you know, they don't.
Their
want to be
mistake
held
is
accountable
forgivable.
for it. Yeah,
Everybody else's mistake is like,
Right.
on God, you about to die. You nail him to the cross.
I can,
Yeah.
I'm so happy I have not been on a team. Granted, I only played for really one team.
Right.
But even when I did do my little feature for like Savage Shark, shout out DC. Even I did do my feature, I was so happy to never, that's one thing I've never had to worry about with people. When someone held them accountable, questioning them about like, what was you thinking right there? They would complain and point the finger, so.
Okay, what about you,
Yeah.
Shigon?
We've had those issues. We've learned better to mitigate those issues with the one particular player that comes to mind. I'm not going to speak it here, but if you know, you know. I think we've done a better job of kind of just ignoring and walking away and still trying to hold that person accountable. But for me as a player, it's my coach's job to handle that.
Okay.
And if they can't handle it, there's always a bench you can come sit yourself on.
That's right.
Because what
Or a
don't
sofa.
need-
Or a
what you
sofa,
don't
because you don't
need
even have
is
to come
that-
to the game.
that personality mixing, because it just throws everybody out.
Yeah,
of
I think it
focus.
does.
So, like I said, that's what I look for my coaches for. It's not my job as a player to necessarily try to necessarily hold you accountable. It's my job to try to pick you up and keep you in the game. Now, does that mean that I succeed in that at all times?
Right,
Hell no.
Okay.
And everybody knows it.
right.
I'm gonna be the first one cussing and fussing. Not
Right.
necessarily at you or cursing you out, but
In general, say, like,
Just
fuck,
in
we
general.
fucking up. Let's stop fucking up, y'all.
Exactly.
Like that.
That is me 100%. I can't with you. You can't be sending me back. I'm trying to do the podcast. You gonna send that? You are absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. But other than that, like I said, that's my coach's job to chastise them, and if that's what they want to do as players, I don't think it's our job to necessarily chastise. It doesn't mean we can't question.
Right.
But the chastising doesn't help.
Okay, so I don't think you all are this kind of player, but I definitely have seen them on my team, myself, and I've seen them on other teams. But why do you believe that there are certain players that believe that they are entitled to certain positions?
Once again, I have been blessed and happy enough to not run into this problem. So I can't speak on it much, but okay, I feel like for me to say that this particular, like if Ann came when I say, I'm just say Charger for example.
Right,
For Ann to
right.
say I gotta be the Charger on the team, like that's my spot. you have to be non-negotiable a top 5 player at that spot.
Right.
So for me, if you just that dog and we brought you here on our team specifically for that reason, there's no debate. But if that is not you, you get in where you fit in.
Right, right.
Ain't man. Thank you, man upstairs. You know what I'm saying? For looking out for your boy. And we don't have to, my teams don't have to deal with these problems because, again, even you know how you go to a practice at the field, it might be you and the other team, so there, and I hear this stuff, I just be like, you should be lucky you getting any PT.
Right,
First of all, nobody even know you.
How
So
about
you
you
don't
beat
got
the
no clout.
charger that's already
That's
there?
what I say.
Right.
If you really feel like you that dog, I always tell, I told the team this a long time ago. It's not about calling the player out. Just say, coach, they got the spot. I think I'm better than them. Both of y'all man up or woman up. Y'all play for the spot. That's it.
Yeah.
And I always say,
Make sure
that's
coach
what they
get
do.
enough reps
Right.
to where you can decide.
Right. That's what they do in
Right.
basketball, football, soccer. You still my dog, but I believe that I'm better. I told my
Exactly.
coach a long time ago, if there ever come a time where you feel like this particular player is better than me at that spot, and I want to battle them for it, they want to battle me for it, let it rock. That's still gonna be my guy,
Yeah.
and we just go from there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But all this crying and pissing all over the floor, and you not even goaded.
Right.
What are you doing?
What about you, Shigon?
Again, I throw it back to the coaches.
Okay.
Because a lot of times with women's tournament, I swear it never fails. We will go and be rocking with something for 3-4 months. We'll come to tournaments and then you done added all these players, and now you as a coach have made your job harder because the people
Right.
that you've added, you're trying to find them a spot, but you knew before bringing them there
Right.
that they weren't going to play the spot that you had in your
That's
mind
right.
because you already have someone
There. That's right.
So you end up having to make concessions for them and put them somewhere else where they're not really comfortable. But then if it's, say, prime example, it always typically happens with your charges and your catches. That's just what it is. You can't, it's great to have 3 or 4 catches, don't get me wrong, but how are you going to effectively play 3 or 4 catchers?
Correct.
It's
you
almost
think it's
impossible. So
Correct.
you'll have somebody who quite deservingly is a great catcher in their own right,
Correct.
sitting on the bench or
Correct.
having to split time. And guess what? At catcher, you can't go in
Ice cold.
ice cold. You
That's
can't
right.
go in and play part of this inning and switch out. Once you switch in that inning, you dead.
That's
you gotta
right.
wait till the next inning. So you haven't necessarily helped yourself any. So it's just, that's all on the coaches. I think a lot of times when they bring, because it's always when they bring somebody in, it's like they almost promise them the world.
And then another thing
You
about it
shouldn't do
is-
nothing but promise them that if they play this $40 for this jersey
Right.
and pay their $65 to play, that's all I can promise you.
Right. Then another thing about it is they could also tell a player, I play outfield. If Aaron's the guy I play outfield, he come bring you. I know you outfield. So
Yeah.
what the hell you trying to say? I ain't good. Now
Yeah.
I always tell people I can see if it's like a person who on your team don't stay healthy, like they
Yeah.
get into
Yeah,
the line.
yeah.
Then it makes sense. But if I'm already beasting, we know I'm a
Right,
beast.
right.
And you come bring Ann in, what the hell you need Ann for? What
That's
you trying
right.
to say
That's
about
right.
me?
That's
Yeah.
right.
So that's another thing. A player really gonna look at the coach and be like, what's
What's she here for?
what she here
How
for?
you gonna get both
Right.
of them? Somebody's gonna have to sit.
Right.
Somebody
Cause
have to
me
sit.
personally,
I pay my money.
I don't,
and
yeah, I
play
don't
sit.
mind
Right.
sitting on the bench a little bit. Like I don't mind if it's for the greater good. That it, just like once again, like I said on the other pod, y'all want to know what I'm saying? Go back and check that. When I went to Savage Shop, I had no problem coming off the bench. Not my team. I feel like I should earn my way in, not just be given a spot. And with them already being former champions,
Yeah, they the
Yeah.
shit.
and championship caliber,
They the shit.
who the hell am I just?
Right.
And I believe I'm a beast, but they like.
No,
We don't even know you.
No, we don't even
Better
know
than
you,
I'm
dog.
like, I don't mind calling
That's
the bench.
right.
And what they did for me was throughout the pool play spring. Okay, let's see what he got.
Yep.
And as the pool play and everything went, then I got more PT. They even put me in the championship game. I didn't even think I was gonna play.
Y'all, he got in the last inning.
Nah.
He got in the last
nah,
inning,
nah,
and
nah,
Savage
nah,
Shot
nah,
was
nah,
winning
nah,
by
look.
15
Guess
points.
Guess what? If y'all won that championship, guess how much your check is compared to somebody who played every minute?
Right. So I was like, I was surprised they even let me in the game. I was like, Okay, I'm going because once again, once it get to the, pool play is different from
Yeah.
Atlanta.
That's right.
They put
They
so
put-
when
yeah,
they put me in,
you're
I was
right,
like,
you're
okay,
right.
they actually believe they give me a
That's
shot.
right, that's
so
right.
So I always tell people, even if you come off the bench, just make the most of it.
Then make the most of it.
Because what
That's
happened
right.
is you come off the bench for this team, and the other team like. Damn, they got
That's
so-and-so
right.
coming off the
Coming
yeah,
off the-
they can
That's
start.
right.
They can start
That's
them.
right. You
That's
got-
exactly
yeah.
what we was looking
I
for right
agree.
there. And
Yeah.
they got to. Hey, let me holler at you after the tournament, son.
That's right. That's
and
right.
boom, like now you the face of your position on the new team, and y'all grinding it up. So I always feel like it goes. That's a thing that happens in literally every single sport. So
Okay.
this one shouldn't be treated any different.
I agree.
No.
All right, she gone.
Yeah.
What do you? I honestly think Atlanta kickball is so damn dope. So, what do you think Atlanta kickball needs to work on?
What we need to work on, I'm just gonna speak from this past weekend in my team.
Okay.
Hey, DOA, we gotta learn how to lock that damn door.
Okay.
We gotta learn how to lock the door. Get
Gotta
into
learn how to
the-
lock
to
the door. DOA.
Getting to the semifinals
Daughters of Anarchy.
is
Okay.
great, but we gotta learn how to
Gotta
get
learn how
past
to-
that.
that's right.
Right now, what we need to concentrate
sit
on
right
is
there.
we need to get a solid. As far as women's, we probably need to get like a solid number 2 team and get them trained up
Okay. Okay.
so that they can compete, and it's just not one
One
team
team.
kind of holding Atlanta
Hold-
women's kickball up on that level.
That's right. Okay.
We
I
have
was-
the best leagues. We have the most leagues. We play kickball almost all year round.
Right. Right.
So we're good.
That's
from
part of
that
the
aspect.
dopeness. Yes.
That's where we are with that. As far as co-ed, they definitely need to do the same thing and
Develop more co-ed teams.
develop more co-ed teams to play on that level. It's
Okay.
nice that they're coming out. You got Black Diamonds coming out, UGK,
Okay.
Fan First, ATL Whole, but you got to get a team that can actually get ready to compete at that level.
Gotcha. Okay.
And just learning as they go.
Okay.
But the energy of Atlanta kickball is magnificent.
It is. It's beautiful.
It is bar none the best energy to have everybody on the sideline screaming ATL Ho. Like,
Absolutely. I love
like,
ATL is
you feel
dope.
that in your spirit.
So now I have Ghost because I've asked all the questions that I wanted to ask you, Shigon. And I'm going to have Ghost like pick a question out of his head that maybe he's always wanted to ask you or ask the tournament girl or ask a girl or just ask in general. Just, I feel like we have a competent, solid baller with umpiring background that can answer whatever question that you pose. So, Ghost, what question would you like to ask Shigon?
And it's funny that you talk about that because the question I had, because like myself, but like I said earlier, you more than me, you play on both sides of the field as far as playing and reffing. So my question was, as far as you everybody know you live in Atlanta, so you be considered, I guess, an Atlanta ref.
Yeah.
My question would be, have you run into any situations where players from, no matter where it is around the nation, might say, okay, she might be making calls that will benefit Atlanta teams or Atlanta players, her teammates, that you might be making calls that benefit them because you like them better or you know them better.
Have you been
So
charged for
ever ran
cheating?
into, any problems with, they be like, even if they don't make it a big deal, they might say, man, I know you played with these people, man, but you know that.
Right.
If
You
you
know
ever
she
ran
was
into
out.
any problem where it
Right,
could have
right.
developed to anything as far
That's
as
a good
that?
question.
I have not, and I feel like the reason I have not is because when I end up repping an Atlanta team, they're playing another Atlanta team, even in the tournament.
Gotcha.
So I haven't had that particular instance, but I have had it with, for lack of better terms, a pretty much Caucasian-based team
Gotcha.
and a black
A
team.
black team. Right.
And they felt like that
You
because-
favor 'em, yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I didn't know them from a can of paint.
Yeah.
Being black wasn't a prerequisite for knowing somebody.
Well, the bottom line is this, and I say this and I stand behind what I say. That's what they do.
Yeah,
So let's just move on with life.
yeah.
Don't charge you for doing something that, as an individual, you would do yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why they're placing that on you. And then when they place it on you, now you sometimes try to go out your way to make sure you're not doing it, and give them calls maybe they should not have. But I say to white people all the time, y'all do the same damn thing. Get out my face.
Let me ask you this. Keon and Flower, we know y'all beasts. We leaving y'all out of this. I'm tired of hearing y'all too. If you could pick 2 players, 2 men, 2 women, to be like, and y'all be the 5, y'all gather the rest of y'all team. But if you could, the whole pool,
The whole Atlanta pool or the
the whole nation
pool?
You
Let's do
get
Atlanta because I want to know these folks. I want to know these
Atlanta
folks.
pool. You get the first pick of 2 men and the first pick of 2 women that
2
are
drafts.
not Keon and
I
Ski.
fuck with that.
Who are the 2 people you taking? No matter position, they could be former players or they could play right now. You can take them at their best. Who are you taking?
At their
absolute best is not
I'm taking
Keon
Dom
and
from
Flower.
Fan first.
Who?
Dom. Slip and slide.
Wow.
I'm taking
Okay.
him. My other guy, I only get 2, right?
2 guys, 2 girls.
Other guy, I'm taking Reckless as my pitcher.
Oh, absolutely.
My 2 girls, I can't pick Flower.
Can't pick Flower.
I'm rocking with the homies Red and Slim.
Red and Slim.
Red and Slim.
What's crazy is, when I was thinking, Dre was the first guy to pop into my head from the Atlanta pool. I am surprised that you took Dom though. Now Dom, that's my dog. That's my teammate. It just out of the whole Atlanta pool was a little.
You took away Keon.
Yeah,
you took away Skeet.
I ain't say
So
Skeet. I just said Keon. No Keon.
Yep.
But see, I didn't pick a catcher because my thing is, if we playing a good team, Skeet is null and void. We shouldn't even have to deal with him. So I'm gonna pick my Charger first. But since you took away
Keon, and I was about to say, when I see Keon, when I think of Keon is like, Keon is Skeet a damn Jordan and Pippen.
Yeah.
I can't just pick one and not
Right,
have
and
the
not
other.
the other.
I need
Yeah,
that
I need a
Jordan and Pippen
dynamic
right
duo
there.
together.
Okay, but yeah, that Dre was literally the first guy to pop to my head because a lot of people out of Atlanta don't know Dre.
I like Drake.
We know Dre.
Yeah,
so
Dre
when,
dope.
So,
He dope.
Yeah, I'm up there with the noodles.
Yeah,
He
Dre
normally gets on base. He normally scores.
And Dre can do it. He
big
may not
kick,
look like he can
bunt.
do everything.
Yeah.
He has excellent entertainment, showmanship.
Yeah, he's
okay,
sportsman.
he can
You
pitch.
can't get in his head.
Yeah, I love him.
Dre to me is highly underrated.
Underrated.
How?
Yeah, I agree.
How?
He is.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
because he don't do tournaments a lot. Maybe that's it. But
And
even
the tournament
then,
teams that he was on before.
yeah. But
Didn't
Dre,
do
that's
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dre, that's
I think, in my opinion, I think Balls
Balls
Deep sleeping on Dre. I do. I think they need him.
No.
They-
No.
they-
Let me say that. I'm not saying no because I don't think they need him. I'm saying no because I don't want them to get their damn hands on him.
Yeah.
Dre, stay as far away from Balls Deep as you can. Just
Oh,
stay,
yeah.
stay with ATL.
Dre is
Dre.
is
And then another
solid
thing about
with
Dre.
ATL.
I don't think he would join Balls Deep anyway.
Well, I just feel like, I love Balls Deep. We all love Balls Deep.
everybody
And when
love-
we send
I
him
don't.
out, we want
I
Balls
don't.
Deep to come back with the money and the trophy.
Y'all know
And I just
I'm-
feel like Dre adds to that level of comfort that we need. If this pitcher goes out or that person goes out, we got Dre.
Oh yeah, as far as
If
Atlanta
he-
teams go, yeah,
right,
that's
right,
a hell
right,
of a
right,
pickup.
right. That's a hell of a pickup to
But
me.
yeah, Dre to me is more like a Damian Lillard.